everybody, welcome back! Another episode AFC Northerners going down the line.
Hey, Marc Herman, a.k.a. LA Bengal fan on Twitter, repping the Bengals.
Dave Green, Browns guy. Dave Green. You all can go fuck yourself. Welcome to episode number 50.
Yes, episode 50.
Episode 50. Jan Davis Utah, Ravens Nation.
Chris Atkins, Steelers guy.
Steelers guy.
Oh, man. Alright, so take it off for us, man.
Well, you know what? The Bengal game started out just like everyone this season, and I know every Bengal fan just kind of cringed. Long drive downfield, stalls in the red zone, we get 3. Second fucking play of the game, we give up a 74-yard pass, Tannehill to Stills on blown coverage. I mean, the guy just walked in the end zone, and every Bengal fan had to be just going, here we go again. And I don't know if a light switch flipped or something. We had Tez back, but this team kicked it into gear from that minute on. We went on a long time consuming drive, edited an A.J. Green touchdown pass in the red zone, and then the next 42 plays by the Dolphins, they gained 142 yards. They never got in the red zone. They never got in field goal range. The defense just completely took over. You're watching some defensive plays right now. You had Burfict in pass coverage. You had Dunlap with a forced fumble. You had Dunlap with a strip sack. You had Dunlap on a tip ball. I mean, unbelievable. The defense, 5 sacks, just took over the game. And the only thing bad I can say about it was the 6 trips, scoring drives, 5 field goals. That's got to change, but I'm hoping that it does this week with Eifert back. Just a couple quick notes. We gave up our 10th touchdown pass of the year. We only did 16 all of last year. We gave up our 5th play of over 50 yards. We only did 6 all of last year. Hopefully with Tez back that changes, because I'm telling you, this defense was on fire. They played like they were on a mission, and hopefully that carries into this week. Brownies, what do you got?
All right, let's start off with some news first. Gordon's still on the Browns, sitting on the reserve, suspended this. The suspension hasn't been lifted by the commissioner, so he's still going to be sitting there. Right. RG3 is going back in for reevaluation this week to see if he needs surgery. I could care fucking less. Let's just stick with Kessler.
I think you got something there.
Yeah, I kind of do. Like, Kessler is not a bad. He's not great, but dude's not doing bad.
No.
For Mr. Ubertater, we'll discuss Kessler a little bit later on. Don Jones, defensive back, he was cut to make room for Connor Hamlet, who we promoted from the practice squad. We cut him Randy Bryant, not a big deal, not a big loss. We signed an O-lineman, Mike Ledecky. We put him on the practice squad, and we worked out a former 4th rounder from New England, center Brian Stork. That's because Austin Ryder tore his ACL last week in his first game as a Brown, so that kind of really sucks. If I was going to guess as to the starting line this coming week, it's going to be Greco at center, Bailey at right guard, and Pasteur back at right tackle. Pasteur did not look bad at all. I don't think the offensive line looked all that bad last week, come to think of it.
By the way, I have to apologize to the Browns whenever I was posting things that I misspelled Pasteur's name. My bad. I'm sorry, guys. I'm the asshole. My bad. Continue, please.
Let's see, the O-line on the whole, they gave up 1 sack and 8 quarterback hits. Can't be giving up that many hits on the quarterback, but we'll take it. Good progress right there. Kessler, 28 of 40 for 223 yards. Here is his TD to Terrell Pryor. It's Pryor's first career receiving touchdown, and it's a thing of beauty. It's a 9-yard strike. He's standing tall in the pocket, and it's into double coverage. He placed it only where Pryor could catch it, so that was a great pass, great catch.
Good play, Jeanette.
Another one we're actually watching Crowell turn into an amazing running back. This dude is just turning up yards after yards after yards. Here's an 18-yarder up the middle, and every time the guy touches the ball, it just feels like this guy can break one to the house. It's unbelievable to watch this happen. It's really freaking cool. Crowell's numbers on the game, 15 carries, 112 with the 1 TD. He tossed in 3 catches for 22 yards, and that, my friends, is why we're leading the league in rushing yards per game at 149.2.
So nuts.
There's nothing nuts about it.
No. I'm saying like it's nuts. Like you still are still having problems winning games. Like you guys are like.
That is such a vital stat. I mean, that stat tells me that you're winning the war at the line of scrimmage.
In the trenches, yeah.
So I mean, like, what is going on?
Defense.
I'm not asking. I'm just saying.
No, not even defense. It's the turnovers and the inability to capitalize.
Yeah.
This
Infield
Turn over.
Infield.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Let's talk about the Ravens shit.
Yeah, talking about the making Ravens stuff. All right, so first of all, penalties. Hi guys. No, we got our asses kind of like the offense just fucking the coaching, Flacco, drop catches, like Jesus Christ. Offensively horrible, defensively amazing work. I will say we had a total of 22 penalties, 10 of which on the Ravens for 105 yards. It's a total of 22 penalties, which is the tie for the league record of penalties in any NFL game. They're now it's now tied.
I mean, with the Raiders.
Wow.
With the Raiders, they had 12, we had 10. They actually had 12, but less.
I knew the Raiders had that.
Yeah, they had 12, we had 10, but we had 105 yards, which actually we wound up losing more yards, but had fewer penalties. If we had one more penalty, we would have beaten the league record. Craziness.
Congratulations.
Not the record you want.
So the good news is Terrence West just showed up 5.4 yards per carry. Amazing drive there. There was some beautiful work by Steve Smith, and also the 22-yard rush from Terrence West. Steve Smith did that spin around. You can see that right here. I mean, that's a beautiful, beautiful catch. And then shout out to my man Lawrence Guy. Like, look at this play. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. We also found out this week that Justin Forsett is no longer a part of the team. We found that out today. It was a mutual thing. He wanted to part ways. And I can totally see that. Justin, we love you. Like, Baltimore loves you. You were awesome. You came in right at the perfect time, right after the Ray Rice thing. And it really you made Baltimore, like, kind of slightly respectable again in that one instance. Don't worry, I know everybody fucking hates us.
West's performance probably opened the door.
Well, and also this opens the door for Kenneth Dixon.
Right.
So, and Buck Allen wasn't like a slouch either. So basically the bad things here were that we could not get anything done on offense. Yeah, we scored some points, but man, we don't need to have that hard of a time getting down the field. It was just way too much.
The game actually shouldn't have been that close. I mean, the Raiders
really
fumbled the
shouldn't.
ball late.
I mean,
the Raiders controlled 90% of the
exactly.
game.
I called last week 27-21, 26-21, and it wound up being 28-27. So I wasn't far off on the Ravens, but yeah, it wasn't that bad. Real quick, I want to wrap things up. I want to just do a shout out. Hang out 2 weeks ago with Jonathan Ogden. I didn't get a chance to thank you on the show last week. Jonathan Ogden, Hall of Famer, amazing man. Freaking amazing man. Also, I didn't get a chance, none of us here got a chance to, our condolences to Clarence Brooks of the Baltimore Ravens, the defensive back coach. Heart and thoughts, prayers go out to that. And also on the flip side, new addition, Joe Flacco had a little baby girl. It's his first baby girl. So congratulations
AJ
to
Green's
Flacco.
a new dad.
Yeah, Joe Flacco.
Hey, we got
future Browns fans.
I will
right
now.
No.
So yeah. Anyway, I don't want to take up too much time on the Ravens because I know we got to get to Steelers. But yeah, that was a shit show, wasn't it, guys? Jesus. All right, moving on.
Steelers. Well, all is right with the world. Things have totally come back to normal. Steelers beat the hell out of the Chiefs. Beat the hell out of the Chiefs this week. 43-14. Here's what you need to know about offense and defense. I'm going to start with the offense. Ben went 22 out of 27. 22 out of 27 with 5 touchdowns. So for all you math geniuses out there, he had as many touchdowns as he had incompletions in this game. I don't know if anyone else here on the couch can quote such a stat.
It was totally ignoring me.
He threw touchdowns to 4 different guys in a quarter of the way through the season. A quarter of the way through the season, already has 1,100 yards. On pace to have 4,500 yards this season. Measure him for his yellow jacket. Sammy Coates, ironically,
behind Richardson.
Sammy Coates, ironically,
# true story.
is turning into the Sammy Coates, ironically, is turning into the guy who he replaced. He's had a catch of at least 40 yards in all 4 of our games so far. when we beat you guys, want to wear your jersey. Wear your jersey when we beat you.
You're gonna have every single Steelers fan revolt against you.
Yes,
That's fine.
So Coase is quietly turning into our number 2 receiver, only because with all those yards, he doesn't have any touchdowns yet this year. This game here for the Steelers was Bell's first game back. No big whoop. All he did was average 8 yards a carry and rack up 144. At 5.4 yards is good.
He just said no big whoop. I just want everybody to
5.4 yards
big
per
whoop.
carry is good. It's not 8 yards a carry. I want to flip the ball over to defense.
I know, right? Fucking yins right here.
Flip the ball over to defense here. You had Shazier out. Next guy up, Vince Williams, comes in, has an amazing game. 16 tackles, 1 sack. Hats off to him. And my man this game, Cameron Hayward, comes in, 3 sacks, and he had the tip pass right here that Jarvis Jones intercepted. Unfortunately for Jarvis Jones, he's not used to having the ball in his hands. Could not beat the quarterback for a touchdown.
Wasn't in Alabama, not in Pittsburgh.
He got tripped up by the one guy that you're supposed to be able to beat. And I'll end it with my favorite play of the game. I always talk about Marquise Pouncey being my favorite Steeler. You can see why right here. About 42 of Bell's 144 yards comes on this play when Pouncey almost beats him in a foot race down the sideline, just looking for someone to block. That's why I love this kid.
All right.
Marc, what's happening next week?
Yeah.
Next week, well, Dalton makes his return to Dallas. So he's going to have family, friends in the stands. I'm sure played his college ball at TCU. He plays in Dallas. We're coming into town playing a 3-1 Cowboy team, but they've got some injuries. I don't know if Dez is playing. I don't really care if Dez is playing because he's not going to be 100% if he's there. One of their offensive linemen's out. They are getting a defensive lineman back from suspension, but this is a game, once again, we have to win this game. This is a must-win game. We're playing the Patriots for Brady's first home game back. You get him this week.
Yes.
We get him the week after that in New England. So, we have to figure that's going to be a really tough game for us to pull out. That's one of those you hope to steal on the road, but you don't check the win before you go into town. So this is a must win. And I think we should take care of our business. I really look for the offense to break out. Tyler Eifert should be back this week. He could have played last week. They didn't want to rush him back on a 4-day rest. On a short week, so gave him 10 extra days by skipping that game. He should be back. I think he solves a lot of our red zone problems.
Why is it so quiet when it's everyone else?
I know.
Well, it's respect. That's what it is. So,
he said as soon as he said break out, I was like, does that include all the times that Bengals players have been arrested? I mean, they
actually, we covered the last 5 seasons. The Steelers are the leaders the last 5 seasons, and Detroit's number 2. So you're talking old news. You're talking old news now. So like I said, I really look for the Bengal offense to break out this week. I really look for him to make a statement, and I look for him to play really well in this game. I'm thinking 31-14, 31-17. We'll go 31-17. We'll give the Cowboys an extra field goal.
All right, as
There
much.
you go.
I do like Dak Prescott this year, though. I think he's doing amazing.
Oh yeah, but he's been dinking and dunking, and I think we're gonna have him this week.
He might be a steal of the draft this year. Sorry, Dave.
No worries. As Marc said, we've got New England this week. Let's cover some stats. New England's 15th against the rush. They're giving up 101.2 yards a game. That's excellent news for Crowell. They're 20th against the pass at 264 yards a game. Offensively, they're 28th in the league in passing and 3rd in the league in rushing. This one is going to be an interesting ball game. The keys to the game are Shelton and Demario Davis continuing to seal up the middle of that defensive line for us. And then we're going to need Agba and Schobert to protect the edges on defense. Kirksey and Meter, they're going to have to apply pressure while these other guys are doing that. Again, the O-line play, limiting penalties. Last week they got us on 7 penalties for 101 yards and turnovers, or lack thereof of turnovers. We go down in the books with 3 of those suckers, 2 fumbles, 1 pick. The first fumble was Malcolm Johnson. Garbage. I don't know why the guy's touching the fucking football. Doesn't make any sense to me. We've got multiple guys, Atkinson, Duke, Crowell, that should have had that ball. And I get it if they were spelling Crowell, but let Duke or Atkinson have it. Why is Johnson touching it?
Yeah.
Duke Johnson's non-fumble.
And it was a non-fumble, just like Jones, just like Boyd. I don't know what the NFL's thinking.
That was the shittiest play. That was the shittiest call.
Wait,
I mean, do you think he fumbled and recovered, or do you think it was just not a fumble?
No, he fumbled.
He fumbled and
pulled the ball back.
And
I don't want to agree with him,
He
but I gotta
stepped
agree.
up. He stepped up from the pile, holding the football. The officials digging through the pile, acts like she saw the ball, and points at his Washington ball. And Duke Johnson's standing there holding the fucking ball.
We have a live reenactment.
And then the NFL is saying they didn't have conclusive evidence, and Dean Blandino actually came out today and said it's a bad visual, but the right call was made on the field. Are you fucking kidding me? This is every week they shit the bed on a call.
I love
every
the
week.
Bengals guy is the most upset.
Yeah, well, he's been burned. Yeah, just sit down. Wait, we got burned on the Jones call. We got burned on the.
We got
it happened
last year against the Jags.
Yeah,
that was some bullshit.
The NFL admitted they screwed up last year. They won't admit it now.
Episode 24 of last season, talking about piss poor officiating. I don't understand what they got to do to get the situation right. Maybe let's make it a full-time job, 365 a year, classes, the whole fucking nine, or glasses. Clearly,
or suspensions, or do what we did. You know what? We didn't have any problem with the officials this week, but we were wearing black and white unis. Maybe you need to be dressed just like the officials to not get screwed. So color rush, everybody in black and white stripes.
I happen to know Gene Steratore. He's an NFL official. And these guys, I mean, they put their life, this is their job. This is what they do 365 days a year. It's strange to me that you can blow a call like that.
Well, but here's the thing that's stranger to me. The whole point of replay is to get it right. And they're not getting it right. No. New York is saying, oh, we don't really see anything. What are you talking about? We've got clear footage of Adam Jones, both knees down, balls in his arm. Here, clearly, Duke Johnson's standing there, holding the football while they're pulling the pile apart. How could Washington have recovered the ball?
It's like that commercial.
They're not getting it right.
They can't. As Marc said last week, don't drop the soap while in the shower. Handle your business. The rest don't care about us. We're the fucking Browns. They would rather have us go 0-16 so they have something to talk about at draft day and how we're going to fuck that up, this and that. Do as Marc said. Don't drop the soap. Handle your business.
Yeah.
Do your job. I want to talk to Mr. Uber-Tater about Cody Kessler. He asked the question about Cody Kessler.
Watch what you say. Watch what you say. Go ahead, but watch what you say.
And also, we're running low on time.
Absolutely, but I said I'd address the situation, and there's really not much left on the couch for us to discuss after this. Kessler's numbers, he's 49 of 73 for 467 yards. Threw his first touchdown and first pick last week. We got to see all that. I like what he's been doing so far. He's managed the game very decently. He doesn't seem to get rattled in the pocket, and he appears to have control over the huddle. He's shown growth week to week. The one thing that I think myself and every Browns fan would like to see is for him to start throwing a little bit further down the field. I think that's a direct result of only Terrell Pryor being the wide receiver we have that's like decent. Once we get Coleman back, that'll help that out, I believe, because that'll allow the short intermediate routes coming across the field, which will free up bubble screens for the running back, which then should free up the linebackers to move in, protect
and he's
that,
had two
Pryor
starts.
downfield.
Two starts.
Yeah, it's
he's got chemistry with receivers.
Yeah.
As he's playing more, he's going to develop more chemistry. He didn't get any of the first team snaps until week 3.
I
gotta throw this out there really quick. You talked about having just one good receiver. Gordon, I really hope that he gets his life together. He was so close. I really look forward to him getting on the field. But your life is more important than football.
Yeah.
Do what you need to do.
Dude's a fucking reject. I'm sorry. He's an asshole. Josh Gordon's a fucking dick. I'm sorry, man. Dude's a dick.
I think that there's a lot of deep psychological
demons. He's an addict.
Yeah, because he's an
Anybody
asshole.
who could get that close to returning and shit the bed is an addict. He's an addict.
Close.
Get your life together, buddy.
Yeah, 2
Forget about
years and
football.
think about it.
So that's what I got, Mr. Uber-Tater. Comment back and let me know what you're thinking about Kessler.
What's your prediction?
I think this is going to be a close one. I think it's going to be 20-17. I think New England pulls it out with a field goal late.
You think?
I I won't
I hope we have a close game. I think Brady comes out guns a-blazing. I really do.
He's rusty. He's no man. He's rusty.
All right, guys. So moving on to Ravens. So we're taking on the Washington team this week. Battle of the Beltway back in M&T. So some things to keep in mind here with the Skins. First of all, they are 29th on defense in letting yards allowed. 29th in the league. They are 25th under defense, and they are 30th against the run. Yeah. Okay. Now, we're much better on the defense, but whenever you look at their stats offensively and our stats offensively, there's a few where we're better, but we almost match each other. So the offense is a big question, especially with our run blocking, and the fact that Joe Flacco keeps overthrowing shit, which is pissing me off. He's either overthrowing it, not throwing it in the right direction. Like, I just thought he was really fucking off his game last week. So, the thing here is that, again, we've got Terrence West. We might have Kenneth Dixon. He might be back in. Right now it's looking like he is. Ronnie Stanley will be back in. So our run blocking could get back to its upgrade that we need, but I'm not sold on it yet, but I'm hopeful. Let's put it that way, hopeful. Now, here's the thing, is like, right now, the big concerns are, one, whether or not they've learned from their mistakes with Josh Norman and only having him cover one side. If they haven't, then we've got 9 frickin' receivers to throw to, tight ends included, etc., plus Juice Check. The other thing is that we're also not sure yet, like, whether or not Eric Weddle has cleared concussion protocol at this point, so we don't know if he's going to be in the game. There's some question marks. Duverville looked a little rusty. He wasn't as quick off the snap. Hopefully he'll be better this week. We got to check out on Webb, see how he's doing. So there's a lot of question marks on the D. Luckily, we're again, even with those guys gone, we're still way above them. So I think that in this game,
I would be very careful. Kirk Cousins turned it up, especially in the red zone.
He did.
You also have your history
and that's so my biggest fucking issue this week is our corners, Sharice Wright and Jimmy Smith. Man, I loved you guys, like watch you guys like practice your asses off in training camp, but what the fuck happened? Like, Jesus, guys, get your shit together, be sharp, be on deck, or I know Ozzy's looking for replacements. Sorry, it's truth.
Truth!
So here's the thing. What I'm looking for in this game is I'm looking to see what our run actually does with Stanley back in, with Terrence West, the possibility of Kenneth Dixon. We actually have, like, Buck Allen didn't look too bad last week. He was all right. But it's really, we really got to start taking chunks. Like, we're nickel and diming ourselves and killing ourselves, and we need Flacco's cannon back out. Honestly, if this game is not a win for us, if this is not a W, then I'm looking for Tressman's head. Like, Tressman, I am looking for Tressman's head because I have been so
After a 3-1
underwhelmed.
start, you want to fire your offensive coordinator.
Because he's not
Hence
the one.
what I said last week, that you're soft.
Bills, Browns, Jaguars.
I mean, look at what the Bills did to the
Jaguars.
Patriots. Do you want to call us soft right now? All right, now, moving on.
Who have you beaten? You haven't beaten a single legitimate
The Bills,
team.
who just beat the shit out of the Patriots and none of them scoreless.
Oh, come on.
Right.
Who are the Patriots starting at quarterback?
Doesn't matter.
The
It's-
Bills are the Jets' only win.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, the Bills are the legit team that I can think of.
Oh.
So,
They're the Jets' only win.
no, doesn't matter to me. So,
Alright.
anyway, so moving forward. So here's the thing, we also got to stick on penalties, etc. So, wrapping up, what I think this score is going to be, I think if we show ourselves, 21-12 Ravens. So, moving on.
I'm gonna have a little fun. I'm gonna start with the score. So I think we're gonna take this one 31-13. Here's why.
Are you trying to cop me because I just said 21-12 and now you're saying 31-13?
I don't think that fast.
No, clearly.
2012, man. For all you Rush fans out there, great album.
So the Jets 1-4, like I just said, their only win coming against the Bills. These are the same Jets that got torched by the Chiefs in that 6-pick game in Week 3. And I don't think Fitzpatrick or Pixpatrick has gotten much better since that outing. Don't be surprised to see Geno Smith come in here in relief in the fourth quarter of this game. Do not be surprised if that happens.
Okay.
I look forward to this being
calling
another.
it.
I'm calling it. I'm looking forward to this being another really, really solid defensive game because 10 picks through 4 games, Fitzpatrick, I almost call him that. Fitzpatrick's going to be back there thinking. He's going to be thinking just a little bit too much. He might think that extra second, and someone's going to be right behind him with the sack, with the strip, whatever it might be. Look for him to hang on to the ball a little bit too long. In other news, it'll be fun to see Darrelle Revis come home to Pittsburgh and take on Antonio Brown. That'll be another good matchup I look forward to seeing. That should be a lot of fun. Brandon Marshall is the one guy on the Jets that I kind of worry about. I look for him to beat probably Gay, who's going to get maxed up against him. I look for him to beat Gay once, maybe twice this game. Might get a couple touchdowns here.
They're going to throw double coverage there because from what I've gathered, Decker's not playing this
There's nothing else.
Yeah.
And you know what? Every dog has his day. Fitzpatrick is a gunslinger.
Yes.
And if he gets on a tear, and you guys are not deep, you've been hiding your corners with good front line play, but the Jets have a pretty good offensive line.
They really do.
And I just think like I said, I think you're underestimating them. They could sling the ball around.
We got picked apart in that one game, but for the other 4 games, I mean, there's been very few passing touchdowns. I think these guys might be a little bit better and a little bit mature than people are giving them credit for.
I think the Eagles just figured you guys out, and that's how they beat you.
Yeah, like I said, I think you're discounting the Jets.
It wasn't just us, though. I mean,
but that's okay. We're
gonna
see your defense because you got the Jets this week and they can score,
yep.
And then you've got the New England coming up after we got New England. Mm-hmm. So you got that coming up.
Yeah.
Look at your schedule.
The other thing is Bell coming back this week.
You'll have your.
I look for Bell have another big week this week.
So.
All right, guys. Okay, so real quick shout outs. Want to say thank you very much. We had a bunch of new commentators on this. We had Audio Blinker. Thank you very much, brother.
My apologies to Nothing But Jesus in Football. Yes, it was 12-4, and as soon as I said 11-5, we wrapped the show, and I went, wait a second, we were 12-4 last year. So thank you for calling me out on that. I want my fact checkers out there.
All right. We also have to think of a brand new commentator. I can't make this shit up, guys. It is Titties.
Who doesn't love titties?
I know, who doesn't?
Everybody
loves titties.
All right, thank you, titties.
Want to say shout out to Astrolum Lucette. Thank you very much for commentating. We love that shit, guys. Please do. Wireside Widebrow and Mario Braceno. Thank you very much, guys. Love having it. Please subscribe. You can find us on AFC Northerners on Twitter, of course on YouTube, Facebook page AFC Northerners.
Where do they send those mailbag questions?
Oh yeah, to AFCNortherners@gmail.com.
There you go.
# mailbag. We actually have a couple of good ones, but we ran out of time. And where's everybody going to be out for this week's game?
I'll be watching it at 5 Line with the Bengals West crowd out in Eagle Rock.
Beautiful.
There you go.
I have a morning shift that day, so I actually have managed to make it down to the BCBB. So on days off, that's where I like to hang out, depending on how late I get out of work on Saturday evenings.
All right, guys. I'm going to be over at the West Wing over on Cahuenga, with Big Wangs on Cahuenga. Feel free to join us there. You?
Parlor and West Hollywood.
Okay, rock on. Rob, you're over at the Parlor?
Yeah.
That's adorable. All right, guys. All right, so make sure again, hit us up with your mailbag questions. Please comment. We love it so much. And we're going to sign off as we always do, and with such great pride.
Welcome back, Tom.
Yeah. We're going to sign off as we always do with Fuck the Patriots. All right, guys. Next week.